The plow paved the way for modern agriculture, but since its humble beginnings, it has also brought upon mass soil erosion and nutrient loss around the world. This erosion has resulted in catastrophic events like the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. And if we want to preserve our soil for years to come and avoid another Dust Bowl in the future, we'll need to change the way that we work with soil. Even FDR himself shared the sentiment: a nation that destroys soil destroys itself.
No-till and regenerative agriculture are the practices that can solve our soil problems. Tilling disrupts the soil every growing season, while no-till allows it to maintain natural processes and layers. If it's so beneficial, then why are people still tilling? To find out, we asked some local farmers.
I think the main barrier with getting farmers into any regenerative agriculture practice is just education. There's a lot of work that can be done by, things such as like UVM extension, just or even student projects, like spreading the word about how to get farmers into practices such as lower no-till. I think there's just it's so classic that farmers just want to keep doing things the way they've been doing things. That's just like how farming culture is.
Although farmers can be skeptical of no-till farming, there are many examples of how regenerative farming practices can be implemented. George Washington Carver was the scientist that paved the way for regenerative farming. He went from farm to farm in his mobile classrooms and laboratory, which he called the Jessup wagons. This is how he spread knowledge of regenerative farming to black, poor farmers that were having trouble growing crops in the South. He taught these new methods by understanding the farmer's context and making meaningful connections. The farmers were able to regenerate their soils and gain sustainable yields. We can take this model and modernize it to spread the knowledge that no-till farming produces consistent yields and can cost less than conventional farming, all while being a sustainable practice.
So by now you may be wondering, what can we do? Well, consumers can make educated choices on which brands and services they choose to spend money on, and therefore have a larger impact on the farming conditions and environmental practices conducted by both individual farmers and larger corporations. Because consumers are tasked with making these important decisions, it's necessary to know how to properly read labels and ensure credibility to avoid falling for corporate greenwashing. Reading labels at the grocery store can both be confusing and frustrating, especially when there is no federally regulated definition of certain agricultural standards, such as that of regenerative. What consumers should know is that regenerative agriculture is really about preserving soil health, including implementing planting cover crops, reducing overall tillage, and limiting fertilizer usage. There are four things that consumers should consider when evaluating the labels at the grocery store. These include 1. Figuring out whether synthetic fertilizers were used, 2. What practices does the farm adopt and for how long, 3. Whether or not the farm is continuously improving soil health, and 4. Whether the corporation publicly discloses information. To aid consumers in supporting regenerative agriculture, there are a few key benchmark standards, such as the Regenerative Organic Certified, or ROC label, and the Certified Regenerative by a Greener World, or AGW label.
It is so crucially important to think about soil health. Like that, if you're a farmer, like you're like farming soil, kind of. It's like all about, you can't grow a healthy plant without having healthy soil, period. So if you're not always thinking about how you can give back to the soil, then you won't get anything from it. It like definitely has to be a reciprocal thing.